Hey, welcome in everyone. So, today on my name's Sugi Yamaga, and today on VTubing my slow life hobbies in my 30s, we're gonna be harvesting potatoes today. So, woo! Actually, when did I plant these? It's been roughly 3 months, which I can find out. Oh wow. Yeah, okay, definitely looking like 3 months, and yep, 3 months ago. Okay, cool. So, it's been 3 months since these guys have been planted in the ground. As you can see, the tops have died back. They're no longer potatoes. Well, they're no longer healthy plants, but I suspect there's a good amount of spuds in these containers. But before all that, it's Sunday morning, and I have a bit of a tradition of, well, pseudo-tradition of preparing tea. So, I'm going to go ahead and I'll be preparing some English breakfast black tea. Go ahead and get the kettle running, get this up, get my packet opened up, we'll get some tea going, and then once I get some tea going, we'll kind of actually get into harvesting some spuds. So, I've got 6 of these containers, and also just bear with me for today on the stream because this is definitely me being a little bit more awkward, even though I always say I'm awkward, but today's gonna be kind of especially awkward because I've got a lot of dirt. This is one of my small pots. This is a small pot, and I reckon this is probably a good 60 to 70 pounds. Actually, last night we had rain coming in, and when the rain was coming in, I was like, wait, I need to pull the pots into the garage because I didn't want the pots to get rained on, because if they got rained on, it would get even heavier, and I don't want my pots to get even heavier than where they're at, because the large pots, those are heavy to the point where they're very difficult for me to move. I can move them. It's not too terribly trying, but it's not easy for me to do so. So, yeah. Also, I will be doing a fair amount of soil moving because, as you can see, I have a tarp on the garage floor. Last year when I did this, I actually made a platform, if you will. I took a sheet of plywood, a full-size, 4-foot by 8-foot sheet of plywood, and set it up on 5-gallon buckets. And I did all the harvesting on that. I'm not doing that this year because to do that involves lifting the pots up to dump them out onto the raised surface. There's no way I have the physical. I kind of have the physical strength to do it, but I'm not pushing myself. Definitely not pushing myself, especially not during this time of year, July, which is kind of the busy month at work, and I've just been way too busy for my own good, especially with how good blackberry season has been. Still can't believe I've harvested as much, but that's still a good thing in the grand scheme of things. So, granted, it's also kind of wild to think that, because I've grown nearly 50 pounds of blackberries, and with the blackberries, this, various lettuce, broccoli, if I get a pretty good crop of tomatoes in this year, I may get real close to actually growing my own body weight in vegetables and fruits. And I think that's a really cool thing, if I manage to pull that off. I might get close. My tomatoes have been very weak this gardening season. That has been my biggest failing this gardening season. So, while water's still boiling, kind of yap a little bit about how I set these pots up. So, for those who weren't at that stream where I planted these out, basically what I did is I took a whole bunch of soil out, reduced it to about 1/3 the volume of the pot. And as you can see our soil level here right now, it's not quite all the way up. Well, the reason for that is I just didn't have enough soil to fill all these all the way up to the top. They're going to get more filled later. Well, the other ones are going to get more filled later when I actually build the garage garden project. But for today, I basically reduced the soil amount to make it easier for me to mix. And then what I did is I mixed in some bone meal and blood meal, got all that, like, put that into the dirt, mixed it up really good. Then I planted my potatoes in, and then I just lightly covered them with a little bit of dirt. And I saved, I want to say, a wheelbarrow loads of dirt, waited for the tops to come up, and then I dumped more dirt back in. The purpose of that was to basically, like, kind of artificially hill them. So if you grow row crop potatoes, one of the things you can do is you'll basically dig a ditch, plant the potatoes down in your ditch, cover, and then once the tops come up, you'll add more soil around the base of the plant, build up that soil level a little bit more. Some people say you get more potatoes that way. Some people say it's not worth the effort, but when you're container growing, you can start off with a low soil level and build your soil level up, and that generally works. Another reason why I also didn't add too much dirt to this harvest, well, to these potatoes, is the more dirt, the heavier these pots get, and I've complained enough about how heavy these things get, and I do not, under any circumstances, want to make them any heavier than I would consider absolutely necessary. So they've grown pretty well. They looked pretty healthy. They did. I'm optimistic to see what I get, but as with a lot of things, you don't know until you actually get into it. One of the people that originally inspired me to grow potatoes like this, his YouTube channel is called Allotment Diary. He actually did his potato container harvest, and that one, he actually didn't, his most recent one, he didn't do like super great. So I'm hoping I have a little bit more success here, but we'll see. And that is gonna be reasonably boiling enough water for tea. Granted, I gotta say, that's my favorite thing with this tea kettle I got from Costco, is like it actually displays the temperature. So I can actually stop the boil when the temperature is actually good, or close enough to being good. So let's get that water poured. Excellent. Okay. So let's get some gloves on. And let's bring in the harvest. I'm gonna be a little bit awkward today because, well, I say that every day, but we're gonna just say today especially so. Ugh. Just because of how this is just gonna be just like reasonably difficult. So first off, I want to pull all my stems out. I'm gonna bundle those up. So, first container. So this is the fun part about growing spuds in containers. Is for harvest, you take your container and you just turn it upside down. Also, if you don't like bugs, you may not want to watch too much. Okay. Woo! Okay. Woo, well, that's our first volunteer right there. Whoa. Oh, hey, dirt coming towards me. Towards my kneeling platform. So, I'm going to have a piece of... Can you guys reasonably see that? You can kind of reasonably see that. So that's our first potato. And I see some more. And I'm also going to be... just going to... Ooh, I see you. I see you, buddy. I see you. Oh, here we go. And behold. Whoa. Hey, you slithering snake. You're practically a snake. But yeah. I love the size of the worms here. Good size worms. So that's another spud. Okay, I see a smaller one there. It's just a piece of wood. Then I'm just gonna kinda go through this. Granted, oh, there's another one. There's another one. There's a potato. And then what I'm kind of doing here is I'm just scooping dirt back into my container while also kind of going through it, because you see a lot of these guys, like this little guy. And these are actually my red Pontiacs. So, woo! Okay, a couple more. Nothing too big. Ooh, that's a tiny one. Oh wait, where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? I lost you. I lost you. You were small. But yeah, that's two more potatoes for the pile. And just we're gonna just keep on keeping. Ooh, flipped one up. How do you eat? Whoa, hey you. Oh yeah. There we go. Okay. Man, nothing great. Not spectacular. Ooh, wait. What's that? Because I have actually missed potatoes before. Ooh, I see. I see a sneaky little guy here. Ooh, okay. Reasonably decent, reasonably decent. Okay. I'm just gonna keep up. There's a spud. Small spud. Still a spud. Still harvest. Still food. Ooh. Oh yeah, there's another good sized one. Nice, 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 nice. Okay. Just flop that. Ooh, that's a big one over there. I want to just go through these clogs I got. Yeah, I think that's the biggest one of this pot. Okay, let's keep digging. Keep going through. Oh, oh. I snuck off with two. Two more. Okay, okay. You know what? This harvest has went from underwhelming to reasonable. Perfectly reasonable. Okay. So as we get closer to the bottom of the soil pile, this is basically going to become also the top of the soil column of the pot. Not as... Ooh, there's another one. Ooh, there we go. Another nice little spud. Yeah! Food! More food! Yeah, that's one. Okay, okay. Let's see. Anything in that clog? Nothing there. Okay. We're getting down to the dredges of our dirt. So I feel like if we see anything, it'll be small. Might have some small spuds. Ooh. But my worms are not small at all. Go back to your home in the pot. Okay, let's see here. Oop. I think that's gonna be our last spud for this. I'm gonna work this dirt pile I have in front of me. See what we get. I'm not optimistic. Okay. I'm not obsessed with. Woo! Haha! Okay, so I have very dirty gloves now, but that's fine. So, first container, done. So, I reckon when I started planning this out, I probably used like 2 seed potatoes about yay-ish size. So, turned this amount of food into this amount of food. So, it was a little underwhelming at first, but honestly, it came holding a pretty decent little harvest here. And these are my red Pontiacs. But yeah! That's the first pot done. Now, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang these off to the side. And since I did a little bit of work there, oh man, okay, the tea's still too warm. I'll just have some water. Have a little bit of water. Hydration's important. So, I'm going to awkwardly move this pot of dirt off to the side, so that way I can get it out of my way and I can maneuver the rest of my containers into position, because we got more to do. We got more to do. There we go. That gets that nicely out of the way, and pot twofers. Which pot twofers already has a small little spud on the top. Okay. So this is my second of my 2 small containers. I planted my red Pontiacs in these, so that's what I have in here. So yeah, let's flip it up and see if we can't find some spuds. This one seems a bit more full. Okay. There we go. Good placement. Good pot placement. Good job, Sugi. Okay. So, I want to pull this off to the side, and let's see if we can get a pretty good reveal here. Oh, yeah. There we go. I gotta break up that dirt clog, though. See if there's any potatoes in it. There's none. Nice sized worm. But yeah, spuds. Food. Food. There we go. 3 nice, good sized ones, like right off the bat. I'm just gonna. I see some nice ones. See some nice ones here too. Kind of break into this a little bit. Nothing in those dirt clogs, nothing in those dirt clogs. Okay. Okay. Another wonderful worm right there. Wonderful, wonderful. And just gonna keep going through this dirt pile to find treasure. Treasure! There we go. That's gonna be, oh. I had a small remaining bit of treasure there. And then we've got this little guy here. So, and I'm not making any significant effort to separate these out because I don't see a point. But for now, we're gonna do the good old scoop and go through routine. I've caught glimpses of potatoes. I know there's more, but it's kind of like an archaeological dig. You just gotta meticulously go through it. Or at least it's funner. It's funner in my opinion that way. Because I see Some potatoes here. Oh man, what do we got here? We got 1, we got 2, we got 3, 4, 5. That's a big handful of food. Wonderful. Okay, let's keep going through it. See if we can get lucky here. Okay. Oh. There's one, there's one, there's one. Pretty good sized one too. To the pile. Man, I was fully expecting to use my shovel for today, but with as hands-on as I've been, I don't see that being the case. Oh, small little, what I like to call micro spud. Micro spud, still a spud. Still food. Still sweet, sweet, delicious food. I think we got a big one here. Bigger-ish. With a little friend. So, into the container. Okay. How much more food is Farmer Sugi gonna find? Farmer Sugi doesn't think he's gonna find much. But hopefully he'll find some. Find some more. Because you know what's better than food? More food. Well, within reason. One of the reasons why I actually let the tops die back so much is it helps with preservation later. Okay. I think we're pretty much to the bottom of that one. So that's like 2/3 of the harvest, I think. I'm not entirely sure. Okay. Woo! Gloves have gotten even messier. But our spud count has went up. So that's 2 pots of potatoes, which these are smaller pots that I've only did 2 seed potatoes each. I reckon I did pretty good. I consider this pretty good. Reasonably good stuff. Got a pretty good little harvest here, which, considering my seed potatoes were more like kind of those sizes, and I basically went in with 4 and I got all of this. So let's see, quick count: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So basically got like a ×5. So amount of food I put in, amount of food I get out, multiplier of 5. The humble spud is amazing. And tea is amazing too. Is amazing and very wonderful. Okay. Spuds off to the side. Give me a moment here to grab my next container and to also deal with the one that I just emptied, because that's the thing I gotta do. So this container, oh my goodness, the weight on these things. And then actually need to grab my shears right quick. Shears! Because I want to cut these tops off. Because these are the... So these upcoming pots are my russet potatoes. And the stems are not as dyed back as they are with the Pontiacs. So I gotta cut them. Okay. Please lay there, shears. Okay. And excuse me a moment, I have to line this up. This is a big boy, and I'm only flipping them once. What? I am happy with that aim. Oh, and this is gonna be a lot of dirt to go through. Yeah, these next 4 are gonna be a lot of dirt to go through. Ugh. But the food. Think of the agriculture. But yeah, we've already got our first one here. Very shiny, very golden, very yellowy. I need to make a little bit of free space for myself that I just immediately lost. Completely. But yeah, because I'm gonna actually go through some of this dirt right quick because reasons. Because I think I'm gonna get a good reveal for you guys, and I want to have a good reveal. But to make my life a little bit easier, I need to get some of this dirt out of the way. And by a little bit, I mean a lot of bit. Okay. I think I did reasonably well there. So, you guys don't see a lot of potatoes, but I see plenty of potential. So, let's break this open a little bit. And there we have it. Spuds. Glorious spuds. A little bit smaller than the ones I had last year, but things were kind of dry leading up to the harvest. Okay. Woo! Oh. Found a micro. And we got another one. And this is going to be more instances of local man digs through dirt on stream. Granted, I think after this I'll be able to consider myself the VTuber that's played with the most dirt on stream. Drummer VTubers don't got nothing on me. I play in physical dirt. Because I like gardening. Gardening's a fun hobby. Ooh. We're slowly starting to reveal some more potatoes. But I do want to kind of break through some of this stuff. Oh! Look at this guy. Look at that guy. That's a pretty big guy right there. Ugh. Good stuff, good stuff. And another to the bin. Another micro to the bin. Ba, 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 ba. Do, 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 do. Woo! Potato! Potato! Okay. I need a potato! Get like a enthusiasm screenshot. Whew. Man. The shop's generally been on the cooler side, but hasn't been feeling cool here recently. It's also been like atrociously warm outside in the world. Kind of one of the reasons why I'm glad I'm bringing in this harvest is it's less food for me to worry about taking care of. Because there's been a lot of food taken care of happening around where I'm at. Oh, it's just a piece of wood. Blonk. Ah, dirt. Okay. How easy? It's not easy enough to do what I was hoping. Because I was thinking about something I could do to make this process a little bit easier for me. Ooh. There we go. That's another spud. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed on how this big container turned out. Granted, there wasn't like a whole lot of top action that I had to cut out, so hopefully this will be my least spectacular of the big pots. And hopefully all the other pots are amazing and wonderful. Ugh. So much dirt. So much dirt. These big pots hold a lot of dirt, I tell you. But there's one. Followed up by another. Okay, so two more. Two more for the bin. The bin's filling. I'd say we're doing pretty all right. Which, by the way, if you want a comparison between last year's harvest and this year's, the image in the thumbnail is from last year. That was last year's harvest. With the same number of pots, same-ish growing conditions. I mean, different years of growing conditions. Oh, hey, Dad's old shop. Good morning, and I hope you're having a good morning. I'm playing in gratuitous amounts of dirt. And also just cracking jokes about how much dirt I'm playing in. Ooh, there we go. And this is why I try to go through the dirt as best as I can. Because I want to find the small ones, because if I don't get the small ones taken out, I'm going to have volunteers later. And for these big pots, I don't want to have volunteers because I want to plant lettuce in them later. Well, lettuce, basil, and thyme. Okay. And I feel like we're at the dredges of the dirt. Boop, 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 boop. Woo! Dirt's amazing. Really doesn't get the credit it deserves. And you get it. You understand. Dirt is wonderful stuff. We're all able to exist on this planet because of I forget what the average thickness for dirt is. I think it's like 6 or 8 inches. Granted, that might seem a little high. But here's an update of where we're at. So, brought in the red Pontiac potatoes. Those were my 2 small containers, and I just finished my first of 4 for my large, which I planted the russet potatoes, which are these yellowy looking fellers. These are people who say cheaper than dirt never bought them. Oh my gosh. Oh man, I was watching yeah, I'd say it's pretty good. I mean, for perspective, I think so the large pots I did I can say I did 3 seed potatoes. I did roughly this amount of seed potato. And then I basically times 3 times 4 what I did. The Pontiacs did a little bit better. I think I got like a ×5 multiplier out of them versus like what I went in with like seed and all that. But yeah, I'm going to be using the russets later to make the make food. But yeah, back to the dirt comment. There's a guy who does woodworking videos, and he's a really good storyteller. I think his channel name's Whitworks. And one of the big jokes for his because he actually like did the whole like I'm building a commercial shop in my backyard deal, and one of the things that was a big hurt to his feelings was the dirt he had to buy for his shop, because he had like a big slope. But yeah, dirt can get expensive. One of the things I do for like some of my containers, and also I've done for my raised beds, is I would fill like the bottom with wood chips, which works as a bulking material for the short term. It eventually breaks down, and you then have to like actually like fill it in with like a little bit of dirt. Granted, I actually really like working with the dirt I've got in these containers, because as you can see, it's very black. It's very black. Lots of organic matter, which the lots of organic matter is really great for making these lighter, because these containers I have, which if I'm just sliding it, these are big boys. Actually, where's the tape measure? I had to buy so much dirt and pebbles. Actually, tons at this point. Oh no! Yeah. Oh, actually, wait a second. I actually measured these yesterday. I actually measured these yesterday when I was trying to figure out how I wanted to make the shop platform, the garage garden platform. But the garage garden platform is actually going to be 4 of these guys, and kind of like a dice configuration. But yeah, these are nearly 2 feet across, which light will not reveal what the tape measure reveals. So they're 2 feet by 18 inches. They're big pots. These are actually pots I got from tree plantings. That's actually where I've gotten all my containers from, is tree plantings. These were pots used for planting trees in. And at the end of the tree planting event, it's like, okay, we have all these pots. What do we do with? And I'm like, hey, I garden. Can I take a few of these home with me? So yeah, for those out there who want free containers, especially big plastic ones that honestly I'm surprised I've gotten, because let's see, how many growing seasons have I done in these? I want to say at least 4. And some of these have gotten damaged. I think I do have some tears in the material, because these are, these are basically meant to be like a single-use plastic. These are grocery bags, essentially. They're meant to be used once and then thrown away. Well, I've managed to get a couple years out of them, which honestly, at the end of the day, probably means that due to UV degradation, these are probably one of the big sources of microplastics in my life. To make a microplastic joke. But you know what? I can't argue with free container. Especially a free container I can just grow like a couple pounds of potatoes in. Because another thing with like container growing is, the bigger your container is, the less you have to kind of sort of water. The more soil volume you have, the more it's gonna hold onto water, and it holds just generally more water. Also, another thing you can do for containers, if you're growing them in an area where you can kind of like bury them a little bit, that helps a lot. I've actually taken containers like these and just basically put like 2 feet of like wood chips around them. Well, not 2 feet, a foot, just to kind of keep the sun off of them a little bit more. And it does actually help hold the water in a little bit more. It keeps the sides of the pot from getting warm and losing water that way. So, but yeah, volunteer to plant trees if you want free containers. You can paint them too? Yeah, that's true, that's true. I'm too lazy to think about doing that, but I'm gonna actually wait. Okay, that's really interesting because OBS did actually not pick up that. Yeah, I mean, that's actually probably the thing I like the most about having a house that's built in the 90s is because having a house built in the 90s means my electrical's done up to 90s codes, which is really good. That means I dodged the aluminum wire bullet, and I've dodged asbestos and lead paint. That's like the best thing about having a house built in the 90s is it's kind of old in a way, but it's not like old. Granted, it's gonna be funny watching the next generation grow up and look at like old like phone jacks in the wall. That's the best thing I can think to call them, and be like, is that an Ethernet port? And it's like, no, kid, that's not an Ethernet port. That's a remnant of the wired phone era. Okay, I gotta move a container out of the way. Okay, which one of you I grab next? I grab you. Maybe. Granted, I'm actually ending up with a bit of a container traffic issue, which is fine. But with you, I'm gonna bring you this way. Just get you a little bit more out of the way. Okay. And time for the easiest one for me to move. Phone jacks will still be like dumbwaiter and stove outlets in 100-plus-year-old houses. Yeah. Yep, you got that right. Okay. I did reasonably well with my targeting of my last one. Let's hope I get lucky this time. And gosh, these things are really heavy. Whew. I am so glad that I'm not doing this the way I did it last year. Ugh. Because last year I had to haul this up. Stove outlets. I think we'll still be using electric stoves in time. Or like stove outlets for gas. Because I can see gas stoves going out of favor because of like all the studies on indoor pollution. Granted, some of that stuff actually gets worse with modern houses, because modern houses are built to such higher standards of efficiencies. Holy smokes. Dirt? Well, pot? How dare you hold that much dirt? That's way too much dirt. I have to hand shovel this, buddy. But I had a few escapees. I'm gonna gather my escapees. So, a few marble-sized pieces there. I'm actually gonna switch out. I'm gonna bring a new container into the mix. And we're gonna just start shoveling. I'm going through this because I'm not seeing anything big right now, but that's fine. This is basically the funnest archaeological dig an adult can have in their garage. Granted, that would be fun. Ripping up your garage floor and then just doing an archaeological dig in your garage. Granted, that almost seems like something they would do on Phineas and Ferb, but yeah, there we go. Smallish one, but that's fine. I'm just gonna honestly try to work this one side, because if I can work this one side, lower it, and kind of hopefully get my dirt going this way. Because I don't want any more. Oh. I did a big scoop and got a big potato. Big potato. There we go. Okay. Dig continues. Not seeing too much though. I'm almost a little bit disappointed, but in terms of soil volume, I don't want, well, I actually don't want to think about things in terms of soil volume. Okay, so we got nothing there. Piece of wood. Just keep dirt scooping. Dirt scooping and checking the scoops. Because that's how I find my small ones. Oop. Oh, wow. Okay, so far, this one's actually been a lot of smalls. It looked reasonably healthy too. The plants. Granted, in terms of soil volume, I'm probably only like a third of the way through. Oh. There we go. There's a good one. That's a really good one. And I think I know the technique. Ugh. Well, got that one out. There's another one. And then, so we're recovering. Maybe not perfect. Well, maybe not a bazant, like a whole ton of potatoes, but I'm okay with that. I can live with that. I'm getting more than what I put in, so that's a good day gardening. Ooh, man, this one looks clean. Oh, hey you. Actually, this pot's turning out pretty good so far. Yep. There's another good sized one to the pile. And I gotta flip my kneeling cardboard around for when I go to the next pot. There's two smalls. Hey, you. This is how you get volunteer potatoes, if you don't take those guys out. And considering these big pots I actually want to grow other crops in, I gotta really go through this and make sure I get all the stuff. Make sure I go through them well. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious, the volume of dirt. And it's perhaps the worst thing with these. Way too much dirt. Like, look at all this dirt. Brand's really great dirt. I'm a little sad by the fact that I haven't found too many of those like giant worms. Because I had some really good sized worms in my small pots. But these big pots, I haven't seen any of my giant worms. Ooh. I nearly missed that guy. That's a good size spud right there. Okay. Let's bring a little bit more of this dirt here. A little bit more of this dirt. keep on keeping on. Oh, yep. Still got gold in the hills. Gotta keep prospecting. There be gold here. Yukon gold. Actually, these are russet potatoes. Ooh. There we go. That's another one. Okay. And slowly getting through this. And I'm not going to worry too much about getting all the dirt. I don't know. I might worry about all the dirt. I don't know. Because this one has had a lot of the small guys. A lot of the smalls. So we've had a lot of smalls. I'm just going to rake some of this over. I'm not really seeing too much left. I think we got it. But I've got dirt to clean up. A little bit. I don't have to get all of it. That's the great thing about the dirt. It's gonna keep my floor reasonably nice. Which is good to know because I really ruined it with the blackberries. I'm really good at ruining things with blackberries. It helps when you have more than what you know what to do with. But so for this one, we didn't get too much of the mid-sized ones, smallerish to mid. Mostly got like big boys. So yeah, I'd say probably like a ×3 multiplier of what I got out, and plus I got kind of a little bit hard to see, but I've got some small, definitely have some small marble-sized guys floating around in here too. So that's large container 2 done. I'm gonna collect myself somewhat. I actually brought my wheelbarrow in because I was thinking I was gonna actually shovel dirt into my wheelbarrow for my dirt management today, and no, that's not what's happened. That is not what's happened. I've just shoveled everything by hand, which is fine. It works. Really glad I brought kneeling cardboard. Probably the thing that most outs me as a gardener is having kneeling cardboard. But yeah, I'm gonna sit down, do a little bit of tea sipping, because I now gotta. Well, I've gotta move. Get this container moved out of the way, and then I gotta grab the next container. So I think what I'll do is I'll stand up the wheelbarrow, since I'm not gonna actually be putting dirt in it, because I did put dirt in it last time, but that was using the shovel. I'm doing okay. I feel like I'm doing okay-ish with my hands. I might grab the shovel for the next pot, and what I'll do is I'll just have like the shovel nearby, and I'll just like put dirt into the shovel, and then once the shovel gets filled up, I'll throw it into the container. Man, I was expecting this to be more like fun rather than like work. But you know what? I'm not harvesting potatoes outside, and the outside is muggy as hell. Because we've been getting quite a few storms through here recently, and holy smokes, the humidity has been unreal. I did some volunteering yesterday, and holy smokes, I got soaked because of how high the humidity was. And like that's the thing, we did it like in the morning hours, like from like 9 to noon, and the humidity was just eating us alive. Humidity is no joke. Take it seriously. Take heat advisories. Take heat index warnings, which we actually do have a heat. I actually do have a heat index warning for today. But I'm in a 71-degree shop, so I don't have to worry about heat stroke in here. And please tell me I didn't get soil in the glove. I can have all the soil in the world outside the glove, but I really would appreciate not having soil in the glove. Okay. Oh, time to move a pot. And I'm going to move a wheelbarrow first. Stay. I need you there so I can make room for the others. Like that. Hey now, don't do that to my new garage door. Okay. Oh. That's interesting. That's really interesting. So this pot I was grabbing, I found a nail in it. Definitely do not want to get nailed with a rusty nail. I am up to date on my tetanus shot. But I still don't want to chance it if I can avoid it. Okay, last one was that's why. Okay. Let's see, let's get it reasonably lined up. And flip! Hot dog! Ugh. Man, why is dirt moving gotta be so much work? Dirt moving's way too much work. Okay. Okay, let's get in here. I already see one spud sticking out, letting its presence be known. Whew. So that's like one. That's our first one off the bat. Ooh, there's one down here. Oh. Oh, man, look at, okay. I got a heart-shaped spud. Which is fun because last year I actually got a heart-shaped spud. Okay, since I have more like dirt cloggy-like material at the top, I'm gonna just grab those with my hands. Oh, hey. Hey, you. Yeah, you. I was just talking about you. I want to show you. Here we are. The myth, the legend, the worm. Oh, yeah. This is probably one of my favorite things about my garden is I've just got like these monster worms in the garden. Okay, break that up. Yep, we're gonna just bury you back up, worm. Put you back where you belong. Okay. You know what? Honestly, I've committed to the hands long enough. We're gonna just keep handling this. Oh man. Pulled up a spud and a worm. But the spud is the true star. So we've gotten 2 okay-ish sized spuds so far. Nothing terribly amazing. Okay, we've got a few more here. So, oh wow. Another heart-shaped spud. And a little one there, and another little one here. Okay. So far, so good. And time to scoop dirt. Grand the good news with this one is I actually only have one more container to go after this. Which is probably the best news I've heard all day. Handling these containers is challenging. But I don't really get a lot of chances to do like gardening stuff on the stream, so I gotta take it where I can get it. Okay, some plant material there. I'm hoping, as I get closer to the center here, I'm really hoping to see some potatoes. We've only pulled a couple okay small ones, not... Oh, there. Haha! Glory! What I've worked hard for. That's what the real gardening YouTubers really don't tell you, is they don't tell you how much work this can be sometimes. And because some of those guys got like big channels, they have like staff and support. They're not one-man operations. Granted, a lot of them did start out as like one-man operations. Okay. I wanna bring these guys over. Kind of go through them a little bit. I'm not seeing a whole lot of exciting stuff. Man. Am I actually gonna have a disappointing pot? It's been doing pretty alright. But, I mean, that's just how it goes, though. Ooh, there's one. Another. Okay. I think we might be doing a solid alright. Which I can live with a solid alright. I like solid alrights. I can live with that. Way too much dirt to dig. Way too much dirt to dig. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Now we're saving the pot. There we go. Granted, that's actually a thing. I haven't noticed any smalls in this pot just yet. There's been no smalls. They've all been pretty okay size. Okay, that's a lot. I got more dirt over here. Then I gotta bring this way. Ooh, there we go. A few more reveals. Gonna bring this dirt over where I can actually work with it. But yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I can live with that. Yeah. I think that's... Oh, no. I thought this one was going to be like marble size, and it's a little bit bigger than that. Like a big marble. Okay. Got that, and then break up that clog. Yep. Man. So, I think we're at the point of no more spuds. Or at least, like, good-sized spuds for this container. So, unless there's any... Unless they're hiding really well on me. But I feel like I got the soil down to a low enough level to where I would have seen them by now. Okay. Yep. Yep. And yep. That is another container in the books. Woo! Oh! Really dirty hands. Really dirty hands. Whew. But yeah. This is what 2 of the large containers look like, so pretty alright. So, just a bit of a review here. This is what I've got so far. So, we've got 1 more container to go. So, honestly, pretty alright. I'm pretty happy with this. Okay. Mmm. Ah. Okay. But we're doing pretty well. So, I think the big pots have been fairly consistently being like a ×3 multiplier. At least as far as amount of spuds that go in versus spuds I get out. The red Pontiacs have done better. Maybe not like spectacularly better, but they've done a little bit better. So overall, I'm satisfied. But these are going to go off to the side. I have one last pot I must grab a hold of. And shovel. Oh man. I literally just threw that shovel into one of the pots, like sticking Excalibur into a rock. Okay. I've got to move a container. So we can finish the harvest. Okay, yep, you go there. And you come on out. Okay. So, this is going to be my last pot for today. Let's see what treasures we can uncover. I'm hoping for some good treasures. And also at some point I abandoned the idea of ripping these tops out as I go along. Whatcha? And pot off. Hey, don't make noise like that. I raised you better than that, pot. Actually, probably shouldn't be speaking like that. That sounds way too boomery. Okay. Okay. So, I want to kind of dig out a little bit more dirt. I want to dig out a little bit more dirt. Because I'm hoping to do a thing. Hoping to do a thing. Granted, I am seeing... Nope, not you, but you're good. You're good. Okay. Because last year, I had a really good, like, nice and, like, dry, crumbly soil texture. This year, not so much. Definitely a bit wetter. Granted, we really got hit with some rain leading up to today's harvest. But what I want to do is plunge in and out, and hopefully, I was hoping to reveal a lot of potatoes, but I'm definitely revealing some potatoes. So, bloop, bloop, bloop. It's a potato volcano! Man, that'll be exciting. I don't know if that would be exciting or terrifying. A potato volcano. Because eventually all those potatoes are gonna rot. And that's gonna smell like terrible. It's gonna smell awful. So we'll just go ahead and gather these up. Because these guys are the russets. Be great for French fries. Which I am actually doing. I feel like I'm doing enough work to actually warrant some French fry time. Woo! Ah, there we go. Another one. So, pretty good, pretty good. Not entirely sure how I feel about all this manhandling of dirt, but things I do for crops, man. I actually do a lot for crops. Except blackberries. Don't do a lot for them. They just go crazy. But that's fine. Just bringing the harvest in alone has been like way too much of my time over the past 2 weeks. Yeah, past 2 weeks. Past 2 weeks have been spent way too much time blackberry picking. Shucks. Last night was like the first time in a while where I could actually like sit down and crack open a book and do some reading for the first time in a long time. I was like, man, I miss my reading time. Reading time's a good time. Okay, still have this whole, I guess you could say, quadrant. And the quadrant yields. Woo! Okay. Oh wait. Did I see something? I saw something there. Potato hallucinated. Maybe. Possibly. Coming down with potato paranoia. Probably not. Still really, really solid, all right. Whew. Granted, I am getting tired of being on my hands and knees, though. But we're almost there. We're almost at the finish line. A little bit more. Okay, that's all good. That's all fine. Ugh. Okay. Just gonna gather up the remaining dirt and swish it around, make sure I'm not missing anything. I really don't want to be missing any potatoes, because then I'm going to get volunteer potatoes in dirt I want to grow other crops in. Okay. And thank you, Tarp, for your service today. I appreciate you. You're doing a lot to keep my floor clean. I'm still probably gonna have to do a really good sweep after this, but that's all fine. That's all fine and good. Woo! And here it is. 1, 2. That is the 2025 container potato harvest. I have a few potato plants that because I had spare seed potatoes. I planted those out in the end garden areas. Yeah, they have died back, and I have to find them. I didn't really do a great job of marking where they were at, so that's going to be a fun. But yeah, I gotta say, pretty good year. Maybe not like, it's not a spectacular year, but you know what? This is solid good. This is solid good. Yeah, I'm gonna take time to kill my tea. I deserve some tea after all that work. But yeah, let's see. How much? Actually, wait a second. If you all are willing to bear with me, I do have a scale. I'm gonna go grab that scale, because I've been using this scale to weigh out my blackberry stuff. Granted, it's just a small kitchen scale. I don't know how well I can get like an accurate read on these guys. Hey, you, come over here. Okay. So we've got our thing. Let's turn our scale on. What we got? We got pounds and ounces. I think you guys can reasonably. Oh man. Actually, if I tilt it towards frame, I can get perfect. Literally perfect. One of my wood wedges. Okay. Ah, come on. Okay, chat, you're just gonna have to live with me. Just gonna have to live with me telling you what the weigh-ins are. So let's grab this container. Oh man, this thing is just too soft, which is bending around the thing. How can this work? Negative result. I don't like that. It's saying nothing. Hey, you son of a gun. You display when I put pressure on you. Ha! It's not low enough. I don't have surfaces. Everything is containers. Oh my goodness. This might end up being more work than it's worth. Which I'm going to fuss with this for a little while. Okay, there we go. What say you? Okay. Okay. So, this container here, that's 7 pounds. So we've got 7 pounds of spuds there. Number 2 comes in at... This one comes in 6.5. So that's, let's say 13.5 spuds, 13.5 pounds. Not too bad. Not too bad. I am going to be setting stuff up off to the side because, yeah, we're gonna be changing some things up, and I don't want to track dirt everywhere. So that's what cardboard's for. Hey, you. There we go. Woo! Okay. Oof. Local old man needs sit-down time. Ugh. He really needs the sit-down time. Okay. So we are an hour and 20 minutes in. So what I'm thinking I will go ahead and do is I'll throw the BRB screen on. And then when I get back, we'll be moving over into the cooking portion of today's stream. So, see you all after a few.
これより鬼ヶ島国際鬼サミットを開催いたします。昨年度多くの負傷者を出し、角が欠ける程度の被害が出ている豆腐ハンバーグ問題につきまして、生ハゲ委員会主導のもと、大豆ダメ絶対キャンペーンを実施いたしまして、国民の鬼の皆様が間違えて接種せんよう、こちらの方針にてお知らせしていきたいと考えております。
Okay, I'm back now. So, we brought in our harvest. It's now time to clean our harvest up. So, we got a bucket, we got some water here, and a place to put clean potatoes. So, I'm actually just going to reach behind me, because that's where my spuds are, and we're going to just work on getting these cleaned up. So, since we're going to be doing a frying routine for today, I'm not too worried about skinning these. I did bring the peeler, expecting to be somewhat, well, you know, a little bit more clean, if you will, for the harvest, which honestly I should just grab a handful of you guys. Drop you in. Let's see. How does 5 sound? We'll do 5. We'll do 5. We'll see what we get, and we'll go from there. But yeah. These look like really good spuds, though. I gotta say, I'm reasonably happy with the quality. The quality seems like it's good. I have actually, so for some people who may have done a fair bit of potato growing yourselves, or spent a fair amount of time on the gardening portions of this platform, may have heard of the roost out method for potato growing. Well, one year I had some extra seed potatoes, and what I decided to do was not the roost out method because, well, I'm a weirdo and I don't have hay lying around. But I do have copious amounts of wood chips. So I basically did the roost out method, but I buried my potatoes in wood chips, and you know what? It worked out reasonably well. However, my potatoes got like eaten up by snails. Like the actual like tubers got really eaten up by snails, but when at least it came time to like harvest and eat the potatoes, I was just like, oh hey, these spuds come with a side of protein. Let's see, I don't know if that's too little or too much spuds for today's French fries, which I actually don't. I actually literally just looked up a French fry recipe this morning, so do excuse me, at some point I will have to be referencing that on my phone in a while. Okay, so potatoes are washed, we're good there. Bucket of dirty water, off to the side. There we go. So big part of today's prep is going to be slicing and dicing these boys, especially into even-ish amounts. So I'm going to go ahead and activate from my hand in face-up attack position 3/4 plywood, because I need a handling surface for a little while at least. Okay. There we go. We got a shiny knife. I like a shiny knife. And can I grab a cutting board that's buried under things? So I've got a cutting board that's buried under things. And the dog voices opinions. And then I'm going to be throwing my finished potatoes over there. So let's see. I made some tea while I was on break. That tea looks good. That tea looks rich. That tea also looks warm. Warm tea. That's good though. Okay, so for these French fries, we just want as reasonably consistent sides as we can get, like the size of the fry, if you will. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stack these two on top of each other, and then I'm just going to do. I'm trying to eyeball centimeter-ish cuts, which they look like thick fries, but that's fine. I'm okay with thick fries. I'm really okay with some thick fries. So do that. I wonder, do I just want to do 3 of the sides? Yeah, we'll do 3 of the sides. We'll make because the sides have a little bit less area because of the curved sides. We can go ahead and make them a little bit thicker, because the biggest thing is we want the volume amounts to be as consistent as possible, just for even cooking. And this is also going to be like a skillet dish, which I've just sliced and diced one of these bad boys in. My thoughts of, I don't know if 5's going to be enough. I am like looking at myself now and being like, Sugi, what a fool. You have plenty of delicious spuds for fries. But that's good. That's good. It's good to have a good amount. So we got that. And basically, I'm looking to fill that container up with starchy potatoey goodness. Because normally I do like my preferred method for eating potatoes is like a stir fry thing where I just like kind of dice them into cubes or like good-ish sized chunks. I've never actually done like just straight fries like this before. That's kind of like new territory for me, which I like. It's actually a big reason why I do like cooking stuff here on this channel, is because I like to. And speaking of like doing like cooking stuff, I think I have a screenshot for the next time I do something. Oh, that might have got a little thin towards the other side. Let's see, be a bit more consistent there. Okay. Let's do that. That looks like a good cut. That looks reasonable, and then I probably am gonna wanna. Well, actually, what about this top one? A little bit on the thick side, but we'll definitely do these bottom too. There we go. So we'll just add those to our fry pile. I'm also expecting these to shrink a bit with cooking. You know what? If they're a little bit on the thin side, they'll just turn out crispy. And I can live with crispy fries. I like a good crispy fry. Okay, so we'll do those there. Bring this guy in. Slice. And dice. Well, not really dice, just slice. Just slicing up. This honestly looks like a pretty good amount of fries. So we diced up like 3 of the spuds. So I'd say this is a pretty good amount to work with. Because I don't want to put too many in the pan, because if I put too many in the pan, that's asking for trouble. And I tend to ask for trouble around here a fair bit, and I would like to avoid that. Because it's a Sunday. It's a Sunday. It's supposed to be a chill day. It's supposed to be a chill, nice day. Okay, so onions are potatoes are prepped, not onions, but we got spuds. Granted, I will grab my phone right quick, and I do wish to. I do have a link to the recipe, which I'll probably eventually have a link to the recipe down below. I just want to make sure I have all my stuff like set up. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, we really want to. Great. So we really want to get into the cooking part, because these are going to cook for like. Actually, wait a second. I shouldn't do that. Wait, I gotta do a thing. I actually have to pull an ingredient. And I gotta get my butter out. Because I want to set this on my cooler. So, sorry, but one of the things about like today's stream is this isn't necessarily how I have my setup done too often. So, I am going to definitely be awkward with today. In regards to today. But there we go. Oh man, I actually really like that as a view for oh man, like just like front and center. Oh man, that's good stuff. Okay, so we're gonna be in our saucepan. We're gonna do a generous helping of olive oil. And olive oil, can you hang out over there, please and thank you very much. And then I'm also gonna grab. So this recipe calls for a measured amount of butter. I am not gonna measure my amount of butter because I literally just have this cube left, and I literally want to use up my cube and also not add trash. There, butter. We've got the good stuff. We got olive oil and butter. Also, wait a second. Oh, you know what? So this wants to lean towards me a little bit. And I have a wedge, so I threw the wedge under it, kind of even it out. All that good stuff. So, let's open up the propane tank. I hear no hissing there. That's good. Wait. Oh, whoa. We got an interesting situation here. Oh. Oh. Sorry about that. I don't have my regulator on tight. Okay. No hissing there. Yeah. Hissing where I want it. Woo-hoo! I just love how as soon as I got the fire going. Oh wow, are we really that out of balance on this? We are really that out of balance. Okay. So, good news is with the wedge, I can actually just wedge it up a little bit more in there. Granted, it's definitely being more even now, which is good. I really want even, because when we get these potatoes in here, they're gonna have to, I want everything to stay as like reasonably even as possible. And okay, I need a handling device. I need to go grab a handling device. And let's see here. You and you do me pretty good. Woo! Ooh. That's some nice sounds. I have handling devices, which is wonderful. Okay, so while that's finishing up, cook, stir, get strips. So I wonder if this is medium heat. I'm gonna turn it down. So we got our mixture going pretty good here. So with that, ooh, I'm gonna add raisins. Oh yeah. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Great. Where's... I didn't... I may have made a little too many, but that's reasonable. We're at least reasonable in the amount. I'm not like super overkilling this. Also, I'm gonna turn that heat down a little bit more, because this is actually just gonna cook for a little while. Which, okay. So at 12:35 we should be good. So, okay, sweet. But yeah, we now have the spuds. They are cooking. Everything is good. And I also just really like this shot. It's not every day I get a real nice shot. But this looks good. I'm happy with this. Man. Life is good, especially with tea. Life's really good, especially with tea. Ah. This is true slow life hobbying. Just taking it doing some work, but actually taking the time to just sit back, relax, and enjoy it. Which actually, speaking of sitting back and relaxing, I better get a little bit deeper into my camping chair. But yeah, at the 5-minute mark, I'm going to go ahead and add some garlic to this, because that was actually, because I actually did look through the comments on the recipe, which is kind of one of the nice things about recipes on the internet, is like people can leave their comments and be like, oh, hey, this is what I liked about it, this is what I didn't like about it. And someone suggested they added some like garlic powder at the like last 5 minutes of cooking. So that's definitely what I'm gonna do today, because I like garlic a lot. Also, I know people are probably like, you got way too many fries in there, and I'm like, I don't care. Actually, do they have any questions on stirring frequency? Cooked, stirred, yeah, come brown on all sides. Okay. So where's my spatuladoodles? I can leave you over there. Cool. Let's give this a bit of a stir. See what we got. And just make sure everything gets mixed up. Get everything. Oh, hey. Make sure everything gets cooked reasonably thorough. But so far, so good. Because I was actually looking at, because I wanted to look at some other recipes, but for like today's potato cooking, man, the amount of things you can do with a baked potato. You can do so many things with a baked potato. But I only have a propane burner in my shop. This is my only means of cooking and heating food here. And I'm not moving my setup to my kitchen for a stream. Also, I can't do that because I'm not harvesting potatoes in my kitchen. There are aspects of what I do where I look back on the amount of work it takes for me to do some of the shenanigans that I do, and I'm just like, why do I put myself through this? Why am I doing this to myself? Because nearly every time I do like a stream or something, I usually have to like move, adjust, or do something with my streaming setup, especially mostly more so when I'm in like campfire cooking season, which you can't, well, I do get paid to be outside, but I don't want to, in my off time, have to be outside. Because no, I am not doing that. I am not going outside to sit over a hot fire pit to make food. But I did find, in my recipe research, I did find what looks to be an absolutely lovely potato soup recipe. So some of these potatoes you've seen today, they're going to get turned into soup outside around the fire pit. Eventually. And also, like, really, also, big points to anyone who got that reference just now. Did I lose one? No, I didn't. There. I'm surprised how much oil and such coats the spatula. Whew. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to making that recipe. So that should be fun. Ooh boy. But yeah, I will be. So one of the things I'm gonna do after today's stream, because I always do like my thank you for tuning in thing. Part of that is I'm actually gonna do a before and after what my shop setup looks like because of this stream, and should hopefully... I don't know, I feel like some of my fellow VTubers are probably looking at me and being like, you are one crazy son of a gun. To that I say, cheers and damn straight I am. But, once again, I do this because this is stuff I want to watch a VTuber do. I don't... You know what? I'm going to look into it. I'm going to see if there's been any VTubers that have played in dirt. Grant, how... Wait, actually, wait a second. How much fun would it be to watch like an actual archaeologist VTuber? That might actually be fun. I might be into that. I would be into that. Or a paleontologist. Oh my gosh. Watch a VTuber dig up dinosaur bones. Ooh, no. No. Dinosaur bone digging ASMR. Because the actual process of like digging up dinosaur bones is like a really slow, tedious process that involves lots of specialized tools to like very carefully, in a very controlled manner, to like free the bone from the rock. Oh man. That'd be some good stuff. That'd be some good content. That'd be fun. Ah! Don't stick to the bottom of the pan, please and thank you. So we looked overfull at the beginning, but this is kind of what I was kind of hoping this would happen, to where as the potatoes like cook, as they cook, they lose their water, and because they lose their water, they shrink. And yeah, I think this is happening lovely. Like, it's not too hot, not too cold. Good job. Good job, me. Sometimes I get stuff done right. Other times I just get stuff done. Or not at all. There's a little bit of variability there. Let's see. Nah. I want to see about maybe. Because I don't know if you can like really get the like sizzle of like the food cooking. But I definitely want to be a little bit careful with my audio balancing. I tend to be a little not too good at that. Uh-oh. I think he's coming. Friend. He stopped short. But yeah, I'm actually babysitting my sister's dog for like this next week because they're going on a cruise. And I'm basically sharing my house with a dog right now. And I don't think he's a fan of when I spend time in the shop, because he likes to lay on the couch in my living room. But he also likes to like be able to like see me, or at least know where I am, because he doesn't want to become abandoned, or at least feel like he's abandoned. So he likes to maintain a certain level of like proximity to me, which right now he's in the basement because I heard his like paws doing the good old clickety clack of the linoleum there. Okay, let's give this a stir. Okay, nothing's sticking. Good. French fries be frying. Granted, I think these are going to turn out pretty good. especially sizzling in like the butter and the olive oil. These are going to become some good spuds, I tell you. Which, this is kind of like one of the real fun things with gardening is like, gardening is like a hobby that produces like an actual like tangible product at the end of the day. Whereas like some other like gaming, for instance, like gaming, I would say gaming produces like good memories or like a good experience in entertainment. Whereas like gardening is probably like low grade entertainment, but you actually like get a like tangible product out of it. So I don't know. I'm probably just too much of a practicalist for my own good. So, but I will go ahead and say now that next week, this time next week, I will be going live. And I'll actually be playing Stardew Valley. We'll continue playing Stardew Valley then. This has actually been, I think, 2 weeks. Has it been 2 weeks since the last Stardew stream? I don't want to say. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks today. So yeah, by next week it will be 3 weeks. So yeah, it'll be a little bit of a while. But yeah, since this was like agricultural week, big week, kind of big-ish week. Mostly doing a lot of like agricultural related things, which was fun as an idea. I had a lot of fun with this. But yeah, we're gonna kind of get back a little bit more into some slightly normal-ish stuff, which by normal by my standards is, well, because I'm only planning to do 2 streams next week, partly because I'm babysitting dog. But those streams are going to be, I'm going to be taking care, we're going to finish the platform, the garage garden platform. So eventually, around there-ish area in my garage, I'll be growing a garden there. Because I'm doing pretty alright. I get an okay-ish amount of natural light. I do have a sun sail set up outside my garage, which I actually have set up out there for the times I do campfire cooking streams, because yikes, that sun eats me alive when I do, especially if I were to do like one like this time of day, because my garage faces east. This gets lots of early morning sun. So early morning sun's pretty intense. So I put the sun sail up there. Well, shade sail. I don't know why they call them shade sails. Almost want to call it shade cloth, but that's also a gardening term. But yeah. So that has like kind of reduced the amount of sunlight a little bit, but still pretty good amount of light, I think. Okay, let's give these. Oh yeah, let's give them a good flip over. Let's get these good and flipped over. Some of these are really starting to brown up nicely. I'm gonna have some delicious food. Which, speaking of which, while I'm thinking about it, it's best to get things that you're thinking about taken care of while you're thinking about them. I need to take some of my paper towels, and I'm gonna paper towel one of my plates. Because once these are done frying, I'm going to set them in the plate and yeah. Set them in the plate, give them some good seasoning, and good spuds I will have. wonder why my CPU usage is so high. I'm just kind of looking at that and being like, that seems a little high compared to what it normally does, but I don't know. Maybe it's variable like life. But I do like the variability of life. I just kind of wish there were like more times in my life where I was just straight up. Now I wish there's times I was straight up bored, but that's gonna eventually happen. Once like winter really settles in, I'll get more bored because I won't have as much gardening stuff to do. But another side benefit of getting if the garage garden works out, I might even be able to do a fair bit of gardening going in the winter. Now, granted, once I start like properly moving into winter, I am definitely going to be losing quite a bit of light. So, not so sure how that's going to turn out from a gardening perspective. I mean, I do have lights that I use for my seed starting setup that I can repurpose for the garage garden, because I actually have two because of how kind of big the seed starting area has gotten. So who knows? I'm also really thinking about maybe changing out my lighting in the garage, because it's LED lighting, which compared to what I had before, like, you see this nicely. Things are a lot brighter in here, and that's definitely a really big good thing for my shop. But when I do streams and various things, if too much white reflects into the camera, then I get some issues with I get like striping issues, but that's just due to the flickering of the LEDs. That's just how LEDs are. It's just a limitation of the technology. Cool, 20 minutes in. Let's hit these guys with some garlic. What should I think? Because let's get these fries nice and garlic-y up. Because I like garlic. I like garlic a lot. Which I'm not entirely sure. One of my... Oh, yeah, that's... We're just gonna... Those were getting burned a little bit. So we'll just take them off the heat. Give them a nice little stir. Granted, they're not like too bad. And then we'll probably let this cook for about another I reckon about 5 minutes. And then I'll kill heat, and then I'll transfer these to a plate. I will bring my piece of plywood back up, and I'll hit them with some salt and pepper and see how it is. Do a little bit of taste testing, and that'll be stream. I actually turned up the heat a little bit earlier, and I think that might have been a mistake, because I was like, man, I got a decent little bit of bubbling, but I think I should have a little bit more, and it's like, nah, this is good. This is good. This is gonna make good food. This will make good food. Which is really like the best I can ask for. It's good food. Because I don't always get super good food or anything, but you know what? That is fine with me. Ugh. Granted, normally I have a buddy who reaches out to me and asks me if I'm gonna do anything with him today, and he hasn't reached out to me yet. So I wonder if he's up for doing anything. Oh, wait. Because if he wants to do a little bit of something, I'm down, but if it's like a lot of bit of something, probably not so much. Simply due to the fact I'm babysitting my sister's dog right now. Ah, they smell garlicky and good. But yeah, we're almost done with the cook. Okay. That's definitely neater-roony. Good to know. Might have to do that afterwards. We'll see. But yeah, my green tea is almost finished, so. But I'm going to be having a cold one with these fries. Yeah. This is going to be really good stuff. Ah. Ugh. My goodness gracious. Oh no, I'm leaning back in my chair and it feels amazing. Oh. Yeah, you know you get old when you just enjoy it like a nice stretch. To stretch everything out. That's just really good. That's just really good. Life happening right there. Okay. With that, I've got my fire off. I'm going to kind of let things cool down for a little bit. And then we'll do the plate up and we'll try these fries out. Now, granted, these fries might have to cool down for a little while, which is I presume they're going to have to cool down. Okay. Take this. That can sit there for now. A low piece of plywood. Which this piece of plywood's actually perhaps a little bit on the too big side, but for what I got going on, but that's fine. Here we go. And then let's plate some food up. Ooh, they sound crispy. Oh yeah, crispy food. I love me some crispy food. There you go. There we go. There we go. I can hang out over there. And then let's kind of push these out, spread them out a little bit, so we can really look at everything. But yeah, there are the fries, cooked, and I'm gonna hit these bad boys with some pepper, because that's what the recipe calls for. So we got that, and then let's do some salt. These boys nice and salty. I'm actually using coarse salt here. That should be reasonable. And now we wait for this to cool down to not burning my mouth temperatures. And I'm gonna just have some tea in the meantime. Because that's actually the best way to like kill a little bit of time is with just have some tea. Just have yourself a nice little bit of a spot of tea. So I gotta say, like today's actually been like pretty good. I was actually expecting stream to be shorter than this, but yeah, I'd say we did reasonably good in terms of length. Hit the 2-hour mark, which I think this is the first stream this week that hit the 2-hour mark. Grab my cold one. Make sure that's off. And we'll close out the propane tank while I'm thinking about it. Okay. How hot are you? If I hold them, they're warm enough to feel. Pretty warm, so yeah, gotta just let these guys cool down. They're just a little bit too toasty to really be for me to really be like digging into. But I'm sure they'll get better with it. I'll be able to like actually get into them in probably just another minute or so. But yeah, I gotta say, like, this was a good Sunday. This is good Sunday. Not sure. Well, actually, I know for a fact my Sunday will actually get better, simply due to the fact that there will be ice cream later, and ice cream makes everything better. Because I actually picked. Because when I went to the grocery store because I needed more wax paper for making fruit leather. Also needed some brewskis for this weekend. So I had to pick up stuff for all that. Wait a second. Dude, wait. Where's? Oh, this is in front of me. Oh, okay. Cool. I can hang out there. Okay. But yeah, I need some brewskis. So, and that I also need to pick up some marinara sauce because I made pasta for dinner last night, and that was some pretty good pasta. And with all that, I was like, you know what? It's been hot as hell. It's going to continue to be hot as hell. Let's get some ice cream. So I picked up some ice cream. Got myself some good old vanilla bean ice cream. Good stuff. Nothing like a ice cold beer after doing some work. Okay. Let's try one of these. Let's try a fry apple. Okay. Oh man. I like that. It's good. Nice garlicky flavor. We have a nice crispy crust, gooey interior. Just the right amount of salt. Granted, I think I should have hit these with seasoned salt. Warm, but not like burning my mouth. Wow. Man. Good fries. Really good fries. It's interesting. I thought I would like pick up a little bit of butter note from the butter I use, but no. I really don't taste any butter at all. But yeah, they don't look like much, but all in all, they're solid fries. Really solid fries. My gosh, that's good stuff. Okay. Yep. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Today was 10 out of 10. We got ourselves a pretty good harvest of potatoes. I reckon I got roughly like 14 pounds ish. So, reasonably good. We got a real nice meal out of it, and yeah, it was overall a good day. Got some work done and made a meal. That's a good day. So, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up stream because I'm sure you guys don't want to see me just like stuff my face full of food. So, this is Sugi Yamagawa. I would like to wish everyone out there may have a wonderful rest of your day, night, evening, whatever it is, wherever you're at. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Okay, bye-bye.